Today we're talking to Meryl Moss, founder of Meryl Moss Media Relations. For nearly 20 years, Meryl's company has orchestrated targeted PR and marketing campaigns that achieve maximum media exposure for her clients. Her client list is long and includes publishers such as HarperCollins, Simon & Schuster, Doubleday, St. Martin's Press, as well as many fiction and non-fiction best-selling and first-time authors. Meryl, thanks very much for coming today.
Pleasure. So happy to be here.
Can you tell us what we've got?
Well, we've got to drink this afternoon. I'm very excited. We have the Orange Blossom Cocktail.
Okay.
And this cocktail is made with gin, which is great, oranges and orange juice to be a little sort of refreshing, and lots of ice and a little bit of simple syrup, right?
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and shake up our ice.
Okay.
And
does that come off easily enough? I don't want you to bop yourself in the nose.
Okay.
We're going to pour this
All
lot.
right. We're going to put everything in.
Stick that lot in there. There goes the gin.
Okay. Here's the gin. Here's the orange juice, which is lovely. A little energy in the middle of the day, and a little of the simple syrup. I'm going to use most of that, but not all of it.
Not too much.
And then we're going to cover. Oh, that's not the right cover. We need the cover back.
There's the cover. I have the cover.
We'll cover, and we're going to shake, and that's all we have to do with this drink.
Okay.
This orange blossom, which should be delicious.
Nice and simple.
I like to shake it up.
We need a little music, a little cha-cha music.
It's a beautiful shaker. Okay, so we're shaking, we're chilled,
Okay.
and we're gonna pour.
That's what's nice about this cocktail, the whole mixology thing, is everything is so pretty. From the glasses, to the colors, to the cocktail shaker.
Absolutely, and the little garnish of the orange, which we're gonna do next, which is fun. It makes it all kind of an experience and fun to do. Lovely, and let's get a little orange on. Do you like yours, sort of?
I like it when it's pretty. Will it stay? Doesn't matter.
You know
We
what?
can
We're
chuck
gonna
it on
have
the
a
top.
floater, if that's okay. And if you want to see if you want
perfect for floating.
go ahead.
Just
See if you
bung
can
it
put
in.
yours.
I'm just going to bung it in.
Okay.
Spill a little. Okay, let's give it a try. Let's see how it is.
Okay, cheers.
Chin,
It's
chin.
so nice to be here. Thank you for the
You're welcome.
opportunity.
Let's see what it's like.
Mmm.
Oh, that's very nice. That's really very, very refreshing.
Refreshing.
Yum. Okay. All right. So down to business. Meryl Moss Media Relations, nearly 20 years.
Nearly 20 years.
A
Yes.
client list that is just really stellar. And tell us first of all what your team does, and then what you don't do.
Okay. We have been working with authors, as you said, for nearly 20 years. In May will be our 20th anniversary. We focus on getting our authors the maximum exposure that we can in the media, and also directly with audiences that are their targets.
Right.
So in addition to doing engaging television, radio, print, what still exists in terms of print, and as well as branded online websites and bloggers. So we
Okay.
go out to all those different entities to see the best and the brightest that fit that are the best fit for our author's subject matter. So although it's fabulous to get on television, it's also very important to be part of the kind of intellectual community that will stimulate book sales and stimulate interest in the experts that we're working with.
Right. So your tribe as an author.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
There are many very interesting places on the web that serve to elevate a platform.
Right.
And that's something that we're obviously very interested in, building platforms.
Yes,
and
for sure.
helping to add to the platform that a client already has, or even for the new authors, building a platform
Beginning that
really
process.
from scratch. In fact, some of the work we're doing, authors come to us these days who are hoping to be published but are not published yet. And how do they create a platform before they even have a book? And how do they get started?
Really?
So we have a whole program in place now helping people sort of develop a platform.
Really?
which is
So
new.
where do they have to be in the process with their book?
First of all, they have to be able to do that, you have to have credentials of some kind. So it really helps to have had a background either as a professional in some area. We figured out a way to help the appropriate authors who want to start to build, to get them started. You know, get them started with a Facebook page, a Twitter following, a website,
The whole thing.
and then get them engaged in what's happening in their topic,
Right.
and have them commenting.
Okay, so I know that you don't take on everybody who comes to you.
Right.
So what's likely to get an author rejected? Or who are you most likely to accept? Is
Well,
it non-fiction more than fiction?
We work with fiction, we work with nonfiction. We don't work with, it's very difficult. Fiction is a difficult topic anyway, although we do quite a bit of fiction.
Yeah, and some big authors you've had.
Yes,
Yeah.
we've had big authors in fiction, which is great, #1 bestsellers, but we don't take on not, self-published fiction. So that's
Okay,
difficult.
so that's good for people to know. They need to know, you know,
Right, 'cause
does this work for me? Should I come? Okay.
Right.
And what do you not do? What does your team not do for people? In terms of, I mean, you don't do paid adverts, so you wouldn't be someone, your company wouldn't be someone that would place adverts, for example, in the New York Times, or would you do that also?
We don't do advertising ourselves, but we have, as part of a program, we could help if that was an element that they wanted to include. We have people we work with that do place advertising, and that could be part of an overall plan.
Oh, it could be.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. And so much has changed in the last, well, since 2008. What has it got more difficult for you? What differences are you seeing now?
It's, in a way, yes, so much has changed. There's so much more material coming at everybody from every perspective. There used to be, when I first started in this business, there were about 175,000 books printed and published every year. Now there are nearly 3 million, I think the number is. I mean, it's
Wow.
so the market is really just overwhelmed. So you have to have something very, very special to break through, or be working with a group that is skillful enough to be able to package you in such a way
Right.
that you can break through.
Can an author, in your opinion, can an author who's self-published go about the things that you do and get results?
Okay. I think this takes me back to what your question was. How has it changed? What are we doing now that we weren't doing before? It's a little bit of the wild west of publishing out in the world right now. We are helping people package their books, actually, which is something we didn't do before. We are doing book cover design.
Oh, you are?
We're getting ebooks published. We're getting traditional books published through the different channels that are now available. And so, for the right kind of client with the right understanding of kind of what it takes to embark on a project like this, we're very happy to get involved.
So an author who wanted to self-publish could actually come to you for help with that, even though you might not take them on as a PR client.
We probably would want to have that component, so it would be sort of part of the overall.
So then it's the type of project.
It's the
it
type
has
of
to be
book.
good enough.
Right now we're working on something. I have an example which is kind of interesting. An author came to us who wrote a book called "You Got to Be Kidding," the cultural arsonist literal reading of the Bible. And he knows he's a PhD in English. He is a very successful businessman, and he got very interested in the Bible and really going through it. He wrote a literal reading of the Bible and asked a lot of questions in a very comedic kind of way.
Oh.
And he came to us, and we basically helped him package this book, and he has a sensational cover. We're setting up stand-up events for him around the tri-state area because he really wants to do stand-up and
he does?
engage people on this topic. He wants to cause trouble, as he talks about it. He wants to make people upset because the Bible can separate people as opposed to, really what it's maybe about is bringing people together, but it doesn't always do that. So that's part of his message. So we've created an entire campaign around that.
Right.
which has been a lot of fun to be
So
part of.
soup to nuts, you're helping him.
Soup to nuts, yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I get you.
Ebook, traditional book, speaking engagements, media, book cover design, marketing, the whole thing.
So you're almost now like a publisher because you're assessing whether a project has legs.
Yes. Book selling is very complicated business. What we can do is, if we think we take things on that we think we can be successful with,
Yeah.
that we think we can get an audience for, that we can get people excited about the book, then we take it on. We because it's difficult. I mean, and having 20 years of experience in the business, really working with so many topics. I have a background in knowing, I think, I know what we can be successful
Yes, right.
doing.